cost them. Lebrov roaming so much, it has put Crownie at a deficit, but the good news is they were able to get Herald. Lebrov was there for a lot of those early plays that have given Shio his individual advantage. We'll see who it really rains out for in the end as G2 now priority control over the Drake. Lebrov still hand-holding with Shio. This man really likes spiders.
Based spider enjoyer.
There it is.
Yeah, Lebrov's laning mid again, just trying to poke out Caps. Crownie's just sitting there in isolation. They're going to give up this Drake, which I think is smart. It's really hard to face check into the Nautilus. One hook lands onto any of the 4. That's going to be a kill. So not giving any fights to G2. G2 really want to look for a scrap, but BDS playing reserved.
Yeah, I'm just playing for little health trades, little pressure advantages as Lebrov just shows up and pokes. Hansama, though, is a very scary Zaya for now. Boots 2 means that Crownie can try to dance around some of these abilities as long as it's the 1v1. But Shio and Lebrov on the way to the bottom side to try to recoup some of the earlier losses.
Where does this Herald go is the question. I think Shio might place it bot to help Crownie get a bit more gold, but then they lose the 3v3, so is it worth to commit for it? They need Nuke, so Nuke's going to push in and try to hover down. They have vision to work around too. Need to place this Herald soon. It's got about a third left on the timer.
We've also got 2 minutes until the plates fall away, so obviously want to get that down while plates are still an option.
Looking for Yike. He's going to sweep his way in. Could get hit by... Oh, Mickey, nice blind hook
side
there.
Step. Cocoon goes in. Mickey just getting chucked out. That's so much damage. Mickey just taken down completely one shot by the Elise. And now Crownie, he's getting frisky. Pops the ult immediately. Lebrov on the way in. Shio on the way in. They're just going to turn him into a little critter here. Waiting for the team to follow up. Ignite going in. Lebrov versus the world. Very confident Lulu. Potentially overstaying his welcome, but luckily has the wild growth. TP comes bot. Lebrov could now be in trouble. Herald utilized. Big charge, and BDS coming up again with the play in their favor. 3K advantage.
Big damage onto Yike. You can see the burst coming through. I thought that hook from Mickey was pretty good because he knew that the enemy jungler was around there and that Yike was sweeping and they could maybe get a pick. But yeah, BDS is just so close and they can respond so quickly. Adam, he doesn't have Ignite, so it's really hard to take that fight. Broken Blade can get the kill quite easily. So it ends up costing him his life. Isn't able to get the chain CC off if the hook hits with the knock-up with Yike. Just ends up dying. And now Mickey's on a wander. BDS being a bit greedy to push out this bot wave. They don't have much information. Crownie even dashing forwards. But Shio's on the way. You can see him right behind them. The fight was extending, and he can get there in time. And I think they've recovered a lot of this bot lane deficit. I think Crownie's sitting on a lot of gold. And he should have shield bow in base.
Back and getting shield blow is going to be massive. The extra life steal just to make sure that you don't get completely poked out in lane. Broken Blade is taking some plates on the top side. Adam will finally return to lane, and Broken Blade really the only... Actually, there's not really any lane advantages for G2. 100 gold is not significant. Item completions are, but at this stage of the game, BDS leads across the map. The only downside is a lot of recall timings means that they are dropping some creeps across the lanes, and you can see in the total gold on your side, Hansama really the only one keeping up with his BDS counterparts. G2 really making up most of the bottom half of that scoreboard.
Unlucky for BDS, they didn't get the shield bow in base for Crownie, so that hurts a little bit on this next Drake, so hopefully he gets another base timer to fight that. And the Azir is only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Cap stacking up with that Rod of Ages, jungle support teaming up again. It's all about bot lane this meta. It's all about having that push and being first towards mid. Trying to secure as much vision as possible. G2 need to break through these pinks in the river. Group up, have Yike behind Mickey and Hans, start to look for 3v3s.
And credit to Lebrov. He is playing like an absolute mad lad. He is a Lulu just wandering into a Nautilus's jungle with no fear. And yes, Shio is behind him, but that takes stones. The man is brave. Very confident.
From Lebrov, I like it. I mean, maybe he gets punished and maybe he doesn't, but he's leaving that up to G2 whether they want to fight him back, and every time they do, he's got members behind him. And here comes G2. The three-man stack up, push out, and try to get some vision. Yike wasted his sweeper a little bit though. And Caps can never join. You can see Nuke just pushes in, four-man hover. The only thing G2 can do actually is cover. They can't really threaten anything unless Mickey can find a flash hook here.
Setting up the feathers. Root is big onto Crownie though, now flashing out to safety. Hook gonna land, ult gonna land onto Crownie.
TP.
But not enough damage. Nuke now stepping forward, looking for the scoop back. Hansama clean on the ultimate, but the feathers are going the wrong way. Mickey now trying to make his way out to safety. Caps waiting over the wall, looking to find an angle, but G2 just forced back. Tower goes down, play in favor of BDS.
Ult just out of range of hitting Yike. Yes, Hans can ult it, but he was looking for Yike as well, who had no flash. Can't get the pushback, can't get the kill. And Caps coming on down means that they back away.
Top side, Divine Sunder for Broken Blade makes these trades quite easy, even in the face of 40% healing reduction. So Olaf is falling behind in terms of trading in this matchup, even if the gold is still quite close. Yike, if he's able to sneak this Herald, it's actually pretty big.
Yep.
We've all seen what a Bel'Veth can do with an early Herald. So this could be an opportunity for G2 to get the control of the game back in their favor. For now, though, still 2K gold in favor of BDS.
Look at BDS, so they want to contest it. Shio's on the way, no flash on Yike. They can look for a fight here. We'll see if Caps doesn't have TP, actually, so it's going to be a 4v4.
50 who gets it in the end. Now it's going to be G2 taking away the Herald. That's going to be massive.
Dash out.
Yep. In the upgraded form, Yike can dash over the wall, so he does just leap out. Uncontested, Caps still splitting on the bottom side of the map, and overall, hugely positive play for the side of G2.
What can BDS get in response? They know Broken Blade and Yike likely have the base, or at least they're low, so they're going to push in top, look for this top tower. Caps responding with a bot tower of his own. And now it's just about stabilizing here for G2. They need to get back on the map. Looks like they're not going to go for the top tower. Dragon spawning means they want to contest that, stop G2 getting towards the soul point. Only one Dragon right now, though. They want to let those stack up. BDS going to move into this bot side river, join up with Adam. We haven't seen any action from Adam and Broken Blade just yet. Brownie, no flash. I think he's looking to catch him in rotation towards bot side. Instead of G2 moving into that river, they're just going to pop the Herald. That tower is probably going to go down.
This
Do they just force for 2?
Using the Belveth Void Remora to just immediately pressure the tower. Zoning Crownie away, just going to break open mid-tier 1. That's massive for getting more map control, for looking to match on some of these objectives, but have to be careful. Nuke is pretty strong at this point in the game, so G2 can't afford to stick around for too long. But good use of the Herald, good use of the Belveth True Form there.
Yeah, just making sure they get something in response. Trading is so important. G2 know he's here.
The wall, Shio, gonna get stunned up, gonna get knocked up. He doesn't even get a chance to rappel into the sky. G2 perfect pick onto Shio, and now Adam is gonna be the one in trouble. Hook hitting the minion. Mickey still on the chase. Adam running for his life. Surely there is no way out of this one. The CC immune, the Lulu, will make sure that he can escape in the end.
Caps is getting a tower on the other side of the map. G2 are walking around with this 4-man death ball. First the Herald, Caps gets bot tower. Then they move towards mid, towards Drake, looking for picks. Caps gets top tower. So G2 playing the map quite well here. BDS are picking up objectives, but now they've recovered this gold deficit, and they're 3-1 in towers.
Massive for G2, tying up the gold. Finding those shutdowns, taking the Elise out of the equation. And I think this is one of the things that's, again, hard about playing against G2 is that they're very good about just overloading a side lane. And if you're not ready with a response on the opposite side of the map or to match man-to-man, it's really easy to find picks like this.
I don't think it was warded either. They just knew that the Elise was taking Drake. It was dead. Crab was gone. And Adam was hitting bot tier 2. So the likelihood of him being on blue buff is quite high, actually. And G2 went for it, and they found a kill. Managed to get Adam's ult. Don't get his flash, but it's not the end of the world. So a kill and 2 towers in mid and top for the Dragon. Really good trade for G2. Caps gonna get the chain onto Nuke, get the ult.
Side lane 1v1, this is very favorable for Caps. Nuke gonna have the TP, gonna have the backup just to make sure that he can get something done to make sure that he is safe in that 1v1, but excellent find for Caps, trading alt for alt,
Yeah,
not too bad.
Just keep chipping away, don't they, G2? It's summoners, it's vision, it's picks. BDS aren't able to find team plays yet, but they're not in a bad spot. They still outscale, they're still in a, I think being 400-500 gold up against things like Silas and Jax. Pretty happy spot for BDS. They need to make sure they don't over-index on giving G2 too many fights, because this death ball just keeps running around. Yike, Hans, and Mickey are going to group up again and look for plays on these sides.
BDS should just be able to break open this top lane tier 1. Caps hovering around in the area, G2, the rest of the team in the darkness, ready to respond if BDS want to commit for the pick. But both sides just playing in Fog of War and trying to look for these angles, look for these single target pickoffs. Yike has to be careful here. Recalls are going to complete, so he will be fine. And now moving into the river, G2 immediately pings coming out, ready to collapse into the jungle and lay down some vision. But Adam will complete the recall, so there's nothing here for them.
Looking for vision, looking for as much vision as possible, looking for a pick. If anyone from BDS steps up, they're as good as dead, and they've dropped bot waves. Broken Blade pushed in all the way, then moved mid, and this 4-man death ball grouped up again. Just looking to force summoners.
Waiting. Side lane. Adam gonna go to top lane, no TP to his name, but shouldn't need it as everyone on G2 is already here on the top side of the map. Something you have to respect for G2 is with the Belveth, with the Xayah, their Baron's pretty quick. Matched on the opposite side, of course, by the Azir and Zeri, but neither side can afford to lose a teamfight. TP coming in here.
Is that from Caps, is it?
Waiting in the darkness.
So with Broken Blade, looking for Nuke. Adam has no TP, he covered the first play on top, now can't cover the bot play. They might be as good as dead. No towers to run to.
Where's Cocoon gonna go? Pushback is big from Nuke, getting the ultimate up in time. His Caps can turn into his minor if he needs to, but they just cut down Broken Blade. The damage is massive, and Caps is getting nothing done. What goes up must go down, and Caps is certainly going down here. No, a flash out to safety, but now Mickey's gonna die. BDS, they do so much damage. G2 overstaying on the bottom side, over-committing for the play. BDS quick to punish.
No MR on this. Jax just instantly got bursted through, didn't get the ult off for resistances either, just got pushed back the second he flashed in. and they managed to just basically one-shot him in a cocoon, and then the 2v2's lost. Labrov just comes in time, and it turns into a 3v1. They have to retreat, and are they gonna look for Baron here? Nuke's around, Labrov's on the way. Yike can't dash over the wall, doesn't have the evolved form, I think, but he can flash. Needs vision though, but Mickey is dead, so he's got one pink ward in his inventory. Caps has one too. Once those pinks are gone, they don't really have any other way to spot out this Baron.
7K, getting lower. BDS debating, sad B, they decide to pull away. No point in flipping it. They've already got a gold lead, they've already got advantages. Their Azir is huge, they do not need to flip it.
Don't risk it. So here, Brookmade's gonna flash in here with the stun. No, just jump in. Yeah, he tries to flash actually. Then the cocoon hits, he just dies in the cocoon, he's gone. And now Caps can't really offer anything. He has to get out as quickly as possible, and then Mickey comes in thinking, well, Yike and Hans are here, maybe we can turn this into a 4v3, but the hook hits the creep, another cocoon lands, bursted through, and once the Azir is untouched and doing out damage, then not really much G2 can do. They need to get on top of Nuke and try to force him away, push him back. G2 now looking for this next dragon. BDS are posturing to contest.
Have to be careful. We've seen it already. Every one of Shio's cocoons could be a death sentence.
Oh,
Both going to go in. They're trying to burn through the elites, and they're going to take her out. Goal not able to go up to the air. Hansama taking out Shio, but it's Adam in the backside. Auto-attacking Yike going forward, trying to find the true form, but he will just find his death. Adam running into Mickey X. Hansama, 4 members still standing for G2. Adam on the hunt. Nuke on the backside, but will not be able to get anyone else taken out. 1 for 2 in favor of G2.
They managed to get the kills, but the carries of BDS are still alive, and G2 have nothing really left in the tank. Hans has used everything. Caps has no flash. Mickey can't really walk in, so they're going to get the objective here, BDS, but Shio stepping up way too far. That should have been a 1-for-1, but the Elite's just going way too deep, gets hooked, gets killed instantly. Basically was a 4v5 from the get-go. But this BDS, they have so much damage. G2 trying to stay together. Get the Jax, get the Velvet, get the Sylas on top of one target, try to burst him down. But yeah, Shio just walking up here into G2.
Oh, it feels so bad. Now, admittedly, they burned so many of their cooldowns just to take the Elise out in the fight, but that is massive for the team overall. And luckily, Adam is such a menace, he stops Hansama from really getting anything else done in the fight.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake from Nuke as well. He WEQ'd away thinking he needed to shuffle, but then he flashed and then didn't need to ult anyway, so mechanics were a bit off in that fight. Could have looked for more in terms of punishing, but yeah, Adam just buys a lot of time, and Crowning's building up to his 3rd item, getting stronger and stronger. G2 need to start forcing plays a bit quicker, I think, with these summoners down on players like Nuke. They probably want to look to punish it. Level 15 Sylas here, Caps.
Caps trying to dash up safety. Brav speeding up Adam, and BDS again looking to take control over this Baron pit. Collapsing on mid lane, going to get the push there and then see what they can do with it.
Yeah, their turn on Nash is not the best. No flash on the Olaf. It's just basically on Nuke to try to shuffle anyone who walks up. But Broken Blade looking to punish if they look for this mid-tier 1. Their Baron is quick, but it's not very easy to secure and stop Yike from getting into the pit.
Broken Blade just waiting. Debating, seeing if he has an option to go into Adam there, but won't opt to go for it. And right now, we're still at the point in the game where the Elise does a ton of damage, so it's so hard for G2 to face check into Fog of War. Really have to play this slow and by the books, get pressure in their side lanes. But Caps potentially risking something here if he walks too far forward.
Yeah, looking for some vision here, G2, but good game from BDS so far. I think every game BDS have played up against G2, they have managed to find leads, they have managed to fight back, and incredible turnaround from them for this entire year, really. Bringing in players like Shio and Crowny, and building around Nuke. Adam's return has been exceptional, so now it's just a case of closing it out, getting across the finish line. You know, 9th in spring, 10th in summer. Now here they are 5th up against G2 in this best of 3. In a commanding position to take a game off of them. They just need to play it slow and steady. G2 gonna take some bases, refresh their wards, and look for another fight around the top side of the map, you have to expect. Broken Blade with no TP though, it just becomes so difficult. He needs to push out bot waves, and that means G2 then have to back off top side, and then he'll rejoin them. While Adam's sitting on that teleport, he can kind of stay down there.
Yeah, and Nuke kind of the center of attention in this game, which I think feels good if you're someone who's been believing in BDS, because he is the guy that stuck around after last year's disaster. You want to see him show up. You want to see that faith that's been put in him paid off, and has been an excellent Azir game thus far. Really set up for success by Labrov, by Shio, enabling him to really shine here, 3-0-4. But in these fights, at least until Crowning's got 3-4 items, he has to be the big carry to step up. And whether it's going to be a shuffle and being the big engage, the big playmaker, or if it's going to be standing in the backline with the Sand Soldiers, he has the power to win BDS this game.
Yike's been waiting in this top rush for a while now, just sitting here for around a minute, hoping that BDS look for something. Maybe they can try to punish it, but yeah, BDS not taking a bite. They're just staying around mid, making sure they're grouped up, making sure they're catching waves safely, just rotating around the map, probably just waiting for Crowning to get his 3rd item. Waiting for Nuke to get towards his Shadow Flame. They're not really on a timer here, BDS. They're happy just farming up these creeps. And I think the only worry they have is Caps is level 16, almost level 17 on this side. As Nuke just going to ding over to 15 soon. See how much he can get done in these fights, Caps. No stranger to clutching it out. And doesn't have the best ultimates to work with. Maybe an Azir Shuffle or a Wild Growth on himself is great, but nothing like a Sejuani or a Nautilus or a one-dimensional just lockdown spell.
Or a Mumu, like we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty lackluster ultimate options. I mean, the good news is because he's level 16, part of that because he bought the Roa, he gets that extra level. The cooldown is super low. And if a fight goes long, which they could in this game, he may be able to get 2 ultimate. Can be difficult, but something to look forward to. For now, though, G2 have control of the Baron Pit. Do they feel confident enough to try and start this one? For now, though, looks like no.
It's risky. It really is risky. Both these teams don't want to take a risk. G2 really want to fight, though. Just such a pain because, again, Broken Blade is bot. If anything happens, it's going to be a 5v4. Dragon's up in 58 seconds. We'll see if BDS move towards that objective. And this Bel'Veth, I'm just going to say it, it's really weak. 1.5 item, Kraken Slayer, no blade, building towards Wit's End. Doesn't really offer that much right now. Caps is even giving creeps over to Yike, probably because he needs around 100, 200 gold for that Wit's End in base, but doesn't look like he's recalling yet. Now he is. 2 items online for the Bel'Veth, and maybe G2 start pushing forwards a bit. But yeah, Crowny's getting closer and closer to that Infinity Edge.
And again, I think we're in a situation where, similar to last game, not with Poke, but G2 could find themselves outranged as BDS were in the previous game. I don't know how Bel'Veth really gets into the face of Azir, into the face of Azir. We saw in the previous fight, Broken Blade leapt into Nuke, tried to flash over the Azir ult, but that hook could be everything. Shio goes up though, we'll find the disengage. Immediate double TP, and this is going to be the fight. Broken Blade leaping, trying to isolate Lebrov, taking out the Lulu before the fight can even start, but Lebrov managed to stand. Going to the backside, and it's big damage. Crowny and Shio still standing for now. Caps leaping forward. Good damage, good sustain. But Adam, what they need, Broken Blade ticking, burning, trying to mitigate the magic damage, 25% less. He will survive with the counter-strike. Lebrov still trying to keep Adam standing. Adam, so much healing now coming through. Nuke waiting over the wall. The Azir could be massive. Hansama, Mickey X, Caps playing on the edge here. Caps fishing, desperate to find something, but at the end of the day, 1 kill in favor of BDS. Everybody making it out with their lives.
That could have been game over for BDS. Crowny and Shio living on 5 to 10% HP. Caps wasn't able to finish them. It's just 1 kill on Yike. So many summoners blown, and Dragon is still up. BDS trying to recall. Maybe they look for Adam here, but trying to take away the crab. Caps is over the wall. He's going to dash onto Adam here. Can he get out? Can he survive?
Talking of Adam. Adam, no ultimate. 10 seconds left. Crowny now on the retreat. Big stun coming in from Broken Blade, but he's in no man's land. He has to flash out of safety, and now Crowny's on the chase, but this is big. I don't know if he can 1v1 the Jax. He's dodging every single attack, but they turn him into a cute little critter and knock him out. Broken Blade down 6 feet under as G2 lose the exchange.
45 seconds on the Jax. G2 need to threaten something here. They know BDS are going towards Dragon. Do they try to do some kind of Baron start or bait? I think they should just hide around the wall here. They should just sit in the pit and wait, and then Hex flash over to Hook. They need to play an acting game, see if they can get the Oscar, but there's the blue orb. The play's gone. They're just going to lose Dragon. And BDS might be able to look for a mid-tier one here. G2 still haven't recalled. Only Yike has because he died, so the TPs are coming in. BDS realize they have so much tempo on the map, they can start to force these objectives. Can even look for 2 towers here as Hans is recalling. Mickey is recalling.
BDS capitalizing on the advantage that they have built for themselves, capitalizing on that massively favored fight, taking Dragon, taking mid lane tier 1, now looking to get priority control over the Baron. I expect probably see recalls here, not the attempt to start, but they can clear out some of this G2 vision.
No greed from BDS. Don't want to push for a tier 2. Don't want to overextend. Take the small wins. They're on soul point. 3 items Zeri, 3 items Azir. They're winning these fights. And G2 are running out of time. This Bel'Veth has still not come online. Yike still looking for plays around top, just hoping that BDS overextend and make a mistake and they can pounce onto the Azir and turn it into a Baron, and that's when the game will explode in their favor. And again, they fall for it, but Nuke hasn't so far.
And I think we have to give credit to BDS there, because as much as G2 are fishing, BDS aren't biting. And remember in week 1, we were ready to call the Baron flip the BDS Baron, because they kind of just got bored in some of their first games and went and flipped it. They weren't feeling that confidence. They just wanted to try to get that advantage. But now, the discipline that we are seeing here in a tense game, when you are already down a single game, is big for the team.
And you can tell that G2 are feeling pressured. Caps has a blue pot. He could get towards Rabadons, but he's bought a blue pot. He thinks that they're running out of time. They need to get a fight going soon and win the fight. So Yike still topside, still looking for something, still looking for Nuke, but he just keeps grouping with the team. Making sure they're together, making sure they're not getting caught off guard. Flash coming up for Crowny. About halfway through, maybe BDS are just waiting for that spell, waiting for that summoner. Shio looking for Caps, who's still trying to find something.
But Caps just taking so much poke just to even walk forward. Now trying to heal up. Big ultimate might be enough though. Hansama just trying to isolate Crownie and take him out, but Crownie so strong. The knockback isn't going to be big. They take out Crownie. Hansama will trade his life in exchange, but Caps is already down. Yike is on the backside, but everybody on G2 is falling. Broken Blade gonna burn. He goes golden. Yike wants to turn. Yike, this could be his hero moment. Does he have what it takes? It's not enough. BDS will find the fight. Nuke with the triple comes in clutch.
Crowley falls, but Nuke stands strong. 6-0-6 on this Azir next to Adam. He should be able to pick up this Baron quite easily, and you can see Caps just so desperate to force something, and it was a good play, but BDS are grouped, and they're ready to respond. The Baron dance is over. BDS win it. 3 minutes away from their soul, they're going to control the map.
Massive for BDS, and I cannot wait to see that fight. You can see G2 sole focus, tunnel vision. Oh. And every time we want to praise them for Clean League of Legends, it feels like they add something else to the resume here.
Yeah.
Good things, but the little things matter.
He timed it correctly. The Crowley spawn, I'm not sure if the HUD updated in time. We'll see it in a second. Looked like he was a second off, but anyway, Caps just desperate looking, trying to dash over. Yike on the flank, just trying to pincer onto BDS here, and he finds that Shio and Crowley a bit out of position, knocks them into Hands, knocks them into Mickey, knocks them into Broken Blade, but it's Lebrov on the side fighting up against Yikes. It's Caps who Nuke punishes instantly in this wall with the soldiers. Mickey hooked into the wall. He couldn't get onto Nuke there. Maybe if he could land in and CC, they could get that kill. Yikes just over the wall. He managed to get Lebrov, but then he comes back in, but a bit too late. Stopwatch from Shio, and then this flash from here from Yike doesn't get the kill, or the dash, sorry. And it does look like Crownie has that Baron, so it's a 5-man Baron up. BDS pushing into this bot tier 2. Flash coming up for Crownie as well, so he can pass the torch over Nuke to the Zeri.
Their siege so oppressive. The Zeri Ultra Shock lasers. Nuke with the Sand Soldiers, the extra range, the Baron empowered minions. They should be able to start to break open the base, but you know G2 trying to respond, always trying to get something back, and right now that means Caps popped out to a side lane, but it means the rest of the team has to play so safe because BDS can just try to force.
They have no wave clear. G2 cannot clear these waves. They're playing 4 melee champs and Azaya. How are they supposed to stop these creeps from getting into the base? Bot inhib is gone. They can start moving into mid if they want, but they're just going to keep going through bot, it looks like. Push these waves in, make G2 respond. Caps is going to get a top tower. That'll be a bounty, but he needs to recall soon and help G2 in this defense. There'll be 2 cannon minions on this mid wave, and I think they're going to siege onto this. Oh, Mickey, did he just flash hook the wall? I think he did. There's the emote, there's the TP. I think
is fine.
Don't think there's an engage here. They just lost the flash hook on Mickey, but they might have to go anyway. They're running out of time.
Caps, take away the Azir ultimate, try to find the angle to the backside. He's looking for it. He gets stunned, he gets locked up, he gets wild growth, but he still manages to push a few back. Nuke into the midst of the team, but he held on to the shifting sands, and he will stand strong on the backside. Broken Blade trying to make the difference. 1K gold shut down onto the Jack, but it's not